Swipe left, swipe right, match. They don't message. You message, they ghost. Repeat. You've swiped through hundreds of people. You've had dozens of matches. You've sent countless messages. And somehow you're still single. You go on dates that feel like job interviews. You have conversations that feel like auditions. You meet people who seem perfect on paper, but there's just nothing there. So you start wondering, is it me? Am I not attractive enough? Not interesting enough? Not successful enough? What am I doing wrong? Here's what I need you to understand. Dating didn't get harder because you got worse at it. Dating got harder because the entire system changed. And nobody told you the rules changed. You're trying to connect with people using a system that was designed to do the exact opposite. Let me show you what actually happened. And once you see it, you'll stop blaming yourself. 20 years ago, you met people through real life. Work, friends, hobbies at parties, random encounters. The pool was smaller. Maybe 20, 30 people in your social orbit at any time. But you saw them repeatedly. You got to know them over time. Connection built gradually. Context mattered. You met them doing something you both cared about. You had mutual friends. You existed in the same world. Then, dating apps happened. And they promised to make everything easier. Now you have access to thousands of people. Right there in your pocket, anytime you want. This should be easier, right? Except it's not. It's exponentially harder. Because those apps didn't solve the connection problem. They created new ones. Problem 1, the paradox of choice. When you have 20 people to choose from, you can evaluate them. When you have 2,000, you can't. So your brain does something destructive. It starts looking for reasons to reject people. Too tall, too short. Wrong job, weird smile, bad photo, not funny enough. Too many emojis. You're not looking for green flags anymore. You're looking for red flags. Because you have to eliminate options just to make the pool manageable. Abundance creates pickiness, not connection. And the person who might have been perfect for you, you swiped left because of one photo, one bio line, one tiny detail that would have never mattered if you met them in real life. Problem 2, people became products. On dating apps, people aren't people. They're products. 6 photos, a bio, some stats, and you're shopping. You evaluate them the way you evaluate a purchase. Not, would I enjoy spending time with this person? But can I do better? And because there's always another profile, there's always potentially someone better. Someone hotter, someone more successful, someone more perfect. So you can't commit. Not because the person isn't great, but because your brain is screaming, but what if the next swipe is better? Problem 3, no context, no connection. When you meet someone in real life, you have context. You met at a pottery class. You have a mutual friend. You both love the same coffee shop. That context gives you something to talk about, something to connect over, a reason you're both there. On dating apps, you're two strangers with no shared context, no mutual world, nothing in common except you both swiped right. So you sit across from each other and run through the script. Where are you from? What do you do? Any siblings? What do you like to do for fun? It's not a date, it's an interview. You're both trying to figure out if the other person checks enough boxes. And then you wonder why there's no spark. There's no spark because you're evaluating, not connecting. Problem 4, the apps need you to fail. Here's what most people don't realize. Dating apps are businesses, and their business model depends on you staying single. If you meet someone and fall in love, you delete the app. You stop paying. You stop swiping. You stop seeing ads. The company loses a customer. So the algorithm isn't designed to help you find your person. It's designed to keep you swiping, keep you hoping, keep you engaged just enough that you don't quit, but never satisfied enough to leave. It's the same psychology as a slot machine. Just enough wins to keep you pulling the lever, never enough to make you walk away. That's why you've been on these apps for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Not because you're undateable, because the system makes more money when you don't find anyone. Let me tell you about Jake. 32 years old, on dating apps for 4 years. Hundreds of matches, dozens of dates, nothing stuck. He started thinking something was wrong with him. Not attractive enough, not interesting enough, not successful enough. He changed his photos, rewrote his bio, tried different apps, same result. Matches that went nowhere, dates that felt hollow, connections that fizzled. Then a friend told him to delete the apps, just for a month, and try meeting people the old way. Jake was terrified. The old way? That doesn't work anymore. Everyone's on apps now, but he tried. He joined a climbing gym, started going to a weekly board game meetup, said yes to friends' invitations he usually declined, and something changed. Not immediately. Not dramatically, but gradually. He met someone at the climbing gym. They talked about routes, spotted each other. Grabbed coffee after. No interview, no pressure. Just connection. 3 months later, they were dating. 6 months later, he told me, I wasted 4 years swiping when I could have just shown up to places I actually enjoyed. Here's what Jake learned, and what you need to hear. Dating apps didn't fail because you're not good enough. They failed because they're designed to fail. You are not a product to be swiped on. You are not a profile to be optimized. You are a human being with depth and nuance that cannot be captured in 6 photos and 500 characters. And the person you're looking for? They won't find you in your carefully curated photos. They'll find you in the way you laugh at your own jokes, the way you light up talking about what you love, the way you are when you're just yourself. That doesn't happen on apps. That happens in real life, when you're doing things you actually enjoy, in places you actually want to be, with people who show up for the same reasons. The climbing gym, the book club, the volunteering gig, the pottery class, the running group, the friends party you almost didn't go to. This is how humans actually connect. Not by evaluating profiles, but by existing in the same space. Doing things together? Building context before romance? So here's what you do. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Delete the apps. Just for 30 days. See what happens. Not because apps never work. Some people meet there. But because they're clearly not working for you, and you need to try something different. Then do things you actually enjoy. Not things you think will help you meet someone. Things you genuinely want to do. Join the climbing gym if you want to climb. Go to the book club if you love reading. Volunteer if you care about the cause. Say yes to social invitations. And when you show up for the activity. Not for the potential date, that's the whole point. When you're there for rock climbing, you meet people who also love climbing. You have shared context, shared interest, something real to connect over. And if something develops, it develops naturally. Over time, through repeated exposure. The way humans have connected for thousands of years. Not because you both swiped right, but because you kept showing up and so did they. Dating doesn't feel impossible because you're not enough. It feels impossible because you're trying to find connection in a system designed to prevent it. So step outside the system. Go back to what actually works. Show up to places you want to be. Do things you actually enjoy. Talk to people without evaluating if they're good enough. Let connection happen gradually instead of forcing it immediately. And I promise you, the person you're looking for, they're not hiding in your phone. They're out there, doing the things they love. You just have to show up to the same places. So delete the apps, not forever. Just for now, and try dating the way humans used to. The way that actually works. Because dating isn't impossible. It just feels that way when you're trying to do it through a screen. Put down the phone, show up in person, and watch what happens when you meet people as humans, not profiles. The right person isn't a swipe away. They're a shared experience away, and that experience, it's waiting for you outside the app.